So I believe I'm going to be dividing people into groups to look at a workshop now. Several workshops is how I think we're going to do it. But before then, Jazakallah khair for the beautiful reminders from everyone. And I'd just like to thank everyone here, really, from the premises of the mosques and the community behind it all, for welcoming us so warmly. And there's something unique, I think, about the environment here tonight, in that, you have men and women and children together and in this sense of peace and harmony. And I think that's just a very beautiful thing. And it's easy for us to say that we'd like this to happen everywhere, but sometimes it's difficult to achieve. And I'd just like to thank you for creating that wonderful environment for us and welcoming us so warmly. One of the verses in the Quran that I find is really powerful when we look at the concept of unity is the verse in Surah Al-Hujurat. So Surah 49, verse 13, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that, O human beings, indeed we have created you, male and female, and made you into nations and tribes so that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of God is the most righteous of you. And why I find this Quranic verse so beautiful is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling both men and women together, it is your responsibility as a society, as a community, to come together and do something about this. But then it's emphasizing this idea that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has deliberately created us different. He could have made us exactly the same. There's nothing beyond his reach, beyond his power. But he deliberately made us like this. It's not out of forgetfulness. It's because he wanted to make us different. And through those differences, there is a wealth of richness, a wealth of beauty that enables us to get to know and understand each other, appreciate each other's differences, value who one another is, through the unique personality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed each and every one of us with. And I think that's a very wonderful thing. And there's another verse in the Quran, in Surah Ma'idah, verse 48, which says that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had willed, he would have made you a single people, a single nation. But his plan is to test you in what he has given you. So strive with each other in racing to do good deeds. Compete with each other in doing good things. And I just think that's so beautiful. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has deliberately made us different. He sees that as a strength and not a weakness. And yet through those differences, let's compete with each other to make ourselves better. Let's unite with each other and bring out the best in one another and the best in ourselves, inshallah. And hopefully in the workshops, we're going to try and do a little bit of that today. So what we're going to look at in the workshops is divide it into sort of broadly three areas. The first, we'll look at this concept of unity and hopefully bring out your own experiences of what you feel that means and how that perhaps looks like in everyday life. The second will be to look at the characteristics of the Prophet, peace be upon him, himself, and how he was such a wonderful example to us all. And I will show you some of the characteristics that we're going to focus on today. And the third part is to take it one step further and think about, well, what can we really do by understanding those characteristics about the Prophet, peace be upon him, to make a difference to the world around us today? How can we unite, not just Muslims with different understandings and different opinions, but how can we unite wider society, people of different faiths, people of no faiths, and how can we bring real peace and harmony to the world, just as, alhamdulillah, I think we have today in this room. So the topics we're going to look at today, I believe we have 4 workshops. The first is going to be led by Samina. That will be on compassion for the sick and the elderly. The second will be led by Rahima and Zahra, and that will be on caring for the environment. The third will be by myself, and that will be looking towards hope and optimism through difficulty. And the fourth is on human rights by Rabia Hussain. Okay, so there's 4 workshops. I'm looking for someone to give me direction as to how we divide these workshops. I think what we're going to do is allow you to sort of choose which workshop you'd like to be a part of. Does that work?
We can take 2 workshops in that room there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can decide which 2. Any 2.
Okay, so shall we go for number 1 and number 2? So I'll remind you of those choices. Workshop number 1 is compassion for the sick and the elderly, and that will be led by Samina. Workshop number 2 will be about caring for the environment, which will be led by Rahima and Zahra. So if workshops 1 and 2 make their way over to that hall over there, and I don't know whether people want to choose. Are you happy to choose yourselves, or would you like me to assign you a workshop? I think you're happy to choose yourselves, yeah? Is that all right? Inshallah, if there's anyone, and if I don't think they're equal groups, I might force you into another group. And workshops 3 and 4 will remain in this room. Workshop 3 will be on this side. It will be by myself about hope, optimism through difficulty. And workshop 4 will be on human rights with Dilwar Hussain on this side of the room, if that's okay. We're going to spend about 40 minutes. Was that all right? In the workshops, how long would you like us to have? About 20 minutes on the workshop. Okay, brilliant. So about 20 minutes on the workshop, and we'll see what we come up with, inshallah. All right.
What we can do is make it easier.
Yeah?
If you get all the men to go to that room,
Okay.
it's easier. Have the women here.
Yeah?
That'll be easier. So it's quite even anyway, the numbers.
Yeah, is that preferred?
Stay here.
And the men can go in that room? Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem. I'm going to have to just change the workshop then. Do you want to go in the other room, or are you okay to stay here? Okay. Let's keep it as it is, inshallah, and then we'll do it that way, yeah? Thank you.